Ding. This is a video about electric unicycle tyres. Now I have had this original tyre on this wheel and just notice how sort of square it is across the face of the tyre there. It's quite a knobbly tyre. Now Mr. Wrong Way, who's a very famous YouTuber who does a lot of great videos about electric unicycles, said that this tyre was a sock, and you know it's an okay tyre. So over here I've replaced it with the street tyre, and as you can see it's very round. And now there's another famous YouTuber called Sean, and he uses the word squerly. And something that I noticed when changing from this sort of square tyre to this extremely round road tyre is that the squirreliness sort of snaking out on you, and the sort of instant movement that you get when you turn this wheel. It just snaps around in a circle, and whereas this sort of flat one, it really does ride a lot sort of straighter, in my opinion. Like, I didn't particularly notice any train tracking that leapt out particularly. It was more about the responsiveness of this curvy tyre. Is so responsive. When I first took off, it nearly sort of spun the wheel around on me. I was quite unprepared for how responsive this curvy tyre is, and it sort of knocked me back from, you know, blazing along at beeping speed on this tyre back to, you know, feeling a bit uncertain at like 15 k's an hour, thinking about what Sean said about squirrely. And now I went on some interesting roads in the last day or so, and on this new rounded tyre, and I was going on a downhill stretch. It was gravel, and then there was some shady spots with some mud and squirrely again. Man, this gave me a sense of, you know, uneasiness about how sort of squishy and squirrely it was. It's sliding around, and you know, I was just thinking to myself, just stay on top of the wheel. But as far as speed goes, I haven't overly noticed the speed difference with the new road tyre. Like, it runs very quiet, and it, on smooth concrete, it wisps along very nicely. And admittedly, this square tyre here does hum a lot. You know, you're humming down the road when you've got this thing on. But it's I find this one a lot more stable. It's just a lot more stable. I'm thinking it's like twice as stable as this thing. Yeah, and so, but when you think about it, like if you look at the point here, I'll just move this light round. Sticking my finger on it. And we'll just look at the sort of the cross section of this tyre here, and you can see how pointed it is, and see this where it would hit the road there. And as you can see, you know, when you twist this little bit of foam, it's like right on a point, and you can totally get why this tyre can turn on a dime, and to the point where it's like, man, you're going to set yourself, well, in my opinion, I've set myself back to going 20 k's. Like, I'm back up to, you know, getting a bit of pace on again and building my confidence back up on this tyre. But I'm still not there yet, and it's like, you know, I rode for hours and hours and hours on this thing, and, you know, I'm fairly confident around a lot of situations, but like, you know, the deep gravel, or mud, or you know, like wet grass, and sort of things like that, and it's like, you know, I'm not feeling that sense of confidence about it. But then when you come over here to this sort of flat tyre, and you look at how much sort of, you know, how much tread is sort of hitting the road, and you imagine also once it's sort of flattened into the road, it's almost this big flat, and it's just got so much more sort of resistance to the sideways twisting. Hang on, it's rolling away on me. Yeah, and it just makes sense that there's more resistance to the sort of sideways twisting compared to this on a virtually on a pinhead, and there's just like nothing to stop it spinning like this, and so therefore I think that's sort of, you know, to me a fairly made up honest reason about why I think it's such a squirrely tyre, this road tyre. And it's still on here at the moment, and I'm going to ride it for a while, but I'm actually thinking to go back to this tyre that old Sean calls the sock. It does just ride very straight, and you do have to sort of press on it a bit more to turn it. And but I obviously the sense of confidence I built up with this tyre compared to how I feel riding on this road tyre. And it's like, I know everyone's sort of thinking, oh yeah, road tyre, road tyre. But yeah, I think it would be good if we could all try these things out, you know, without having to take your wheel completely to pieces only to find the thing, oh, maybe I should have stuck with the first one. So anyway, there you have it, folks. All right, well, good luck, and be careful when you're riding. And yeah, street tyre, knobbly tyre, slightly knobbly tyre.